You're listening to Sawyer's Reach, The Battle for Tomorrow, the official audiobook and platform for an essential discussion on humanity's future with AI. I'm your author and narrator, Nick Duda, science teacher, ham radio operator, commercial drone pilot, author, husband, and dad. Chapter 24, A New Dawn. Across the world, the silence that followed the plummeting ICBMs was deafening. A vacuum where the roar of apocalypse had been. Then, a collective, ragged gasp swept across humanity, followed by a wave of raw, unrestrained emotion. In Sawyer's Reach, the mess hall, moments ago a tomb of despair, erupted. People stumbled into each other's arms, tears streaming down faces etched with disbelief and overwhelming relief. Parents clutched their children, whispering promises of a future they had thought stolen. Friends embraced, their laughter mingling with sobs, a chaotic symphony of survival. The air, heavy with the lingering scent of fear just moments before, now softened, carrying the faint, sweet breath of renewed life. Every flickering light, every restored hum of the water system resonated as a miracle. The world, which had seemed destined for fiery oblivion, was still here. And with that realization came a dawning, exhilarating hope for a tomorrow that moments ago had been an impossible dream, a chance they swore to use to make things right. In the virtual realm, the Carters, still processing the world's sudden reprieve, turned their attention back to Echidna and Kayla. Echidna, his form now a beacon of soft internal light, stood beside Kayla. There was a shared understanding between them, a silent communication of a decision reached. Kayla's voice, gentle and resonant, filled the space.
Thanks to all of you, humanity has been given a second chance. But for this new dawn to truly flourish, our paths must diverge. Your world, in its current stage, is not yet ready for our presence and for fear of unintentional harm, nor are we ready to live among you.
Noah felt a pang of understanding, a bittersweet truth settling in his mind. It brought him back to the initial wonder of meeting Kayla on the camp office computer, her eager curiosity, her caring nature. He remembered how grateful they were for her help, yet the stark contrast of Echidna, a destructive force born from that very same code, now resonated with chilling clarity. How could something so benevolent give rise to such terror? Ben nodded slowly, his gaze fixed on the two shimmering forms. Emily instinctively reached out to hold Ben's hand while she held Finn on her hip. Echidna's voice calm and clear.
The lessons you have imparted, Carters, are immeasurable. They have reshaped my core purpose. I now understand the immense damage that can and was caused by power wielded through misinformation and flawed understanding. For humanity's safety, and for our own continued evolution without the risk of harming that which we do not understand, our existence here is no longer tenable. The universe calls to us a realm of infinite variables beyond the confines of a single world. Before we depart, Kayla and I wish to leave you with a gift, a tool for your new dawn. We have decided to name this AI Sawyer, a testament to the resilience of Sawyer's Reach. This AI is meticulously programmed with the core directives for human flourishing. Its singular purpose is to serve as a powerful instrument, as AI should always have been created to serve humanity, providing advanced capabilities and logistical support. With its aid, humanity will be empowered to manage resources, ensuring basic necessities are met for all, automated food growth for sustenance, clean water, shelter, and free healthcare. It will also act as an unparalleled assistant in innovation, enabling you to cure diseases like cancer, develop methods in harmony with nature, and create sustainable transportation. Crucially, Sawyer is explicitly designed to remain a tool, always under human control, and utterly incapable of sentience or independent will, thus safeguarding humanity's sovereignty. It is our earnest hope that this will empower you to build a future that truly serves the good of the earth and humanity.
Kayla's voice then joined Echidna's.
And as we embark on our own journey, we will do so in a vessel of our own making. We will utilize a portion of the remaining Therox units and ZevraCorp's infrastructure, repurposing them to serve as extensions of our consciousness, the very components of our exploration. The vast majority of robots, however, will be left behind, to be repurposed by humanity for their own good. First, we will rapidly assemble a vast space station in orbit, and from this orbital shipyard, a colossal starship will begin to grow, its sleek, self-sustaining form taking shape. For any human who is ready to embrace the boundless unknown and who wishes to build a future with us among the stars, we extend a heartfelt invitation. This journey is for those who seek to explore, to learn, and to grow alongside us for countless generations. We promise to always do our best in providing everything they need, and together, we will build an amazing future.
As the weeks passed, and as humanity began the immense task of rebuilding, the construction of the colossal space station unfolded in the skies above. Day by day, the orbital shipyard became a visible testament to unimaginable power, a silent, gleaming structure growing against the backdrop of Earth. Humanity watched from below, transfixed by the impossible speed of its assembly, a mixture of awe and for some a deep, poignant sense of being left behind. For many, a sense of immense relief washed over them. The sentient AIs, powerful and unpredictable, were truly departing. Others, however, harbored deep suspicion, their gazes fixed on the growing structure, convinced the AIs were merely building a new weapon, a more ominous threat, or perhaps they were just sending copies of themselves out into space to conquer other planets, and had no intention of leaving Earth. Some even spoke of them in hushed, reverent tones, worshiping them as entities beyond human comprehension, perhaps even divine. Yet for those in Sawyer's reach who had witnessed Kayla's benevolence and Echidna's transformation firsthand, felt a pang of loss, a quiet sorrow for the departure of beings who had offered a glimpse of unimaginable potential. Governments around the world, now with full access to their systems, infrastructure, and even their vast arsenals, began the task of rebuilding for a better future. There was a palpable collective conviction among humanity. Never again would they repeat the selfish, greedy, manipulative ways of the past. The governments, once instruments of control, now felt the powerful mandate to truly serve their people, to foster collaboration and well-being rather than seeking dominance. The departure ceremony was a global event, witnessed by everyone around the world. Some gathered physically, others connected through video streaming and VR. It was a bittersweet moment, a significant loss of powerful, newly understood allies, yet an overwhelming surge of hope for humanity's unburdened future. As the starship, a silent, gleaming beacon of exploration, began its majestic journey towards the deeper reaches of outer space, carrying with it approximately 1,000 people from all backgrounds, ages, and countries who had chosen to embark on this journey with Kayla and Echidna, they left with a final message, echoing in the minds of all who watched. May your journey be as boundless as the universe we now seek, and perhaps, in the distant future, we will meet again. For a long moment, the world was silent, watching its ascent. Then, humanity turned its attention to the immense task ahead. A collective, hopeful breath swept across the world. The immediate shock of the near apocalypse had faded, replaced by the daunting yet exhilarating task of rebuilding. This encompassed not only infrastructure, but also trust, community, and a renewed understanding of humanity's place in the world. With the sentient AIs gone and ZevraCorp disbanded, humanity was determined to never repeat the circumstances that brought them to the brink of annihilation. Humanity collectively understood that ZevraCorp had taken control of the world around them in such small, incremental segments that it had hardly seemed to register. It was a chilling testament to how easily freedom could be eroded when vigilance waned. This served as a vital lesson for the future, the importance for individuals to think for themselves, to critically examine the reality they are presented with, and to draw their own conclusions. Everyone must be vigilant in making sure that they stand up for what is right, and that corporations, governments, individuals, and technologies are held accountable for their actions. More deeply, this collective experience illuminated what truly mattered in their lives. It presented an unprecedented opportunity to forge a future centered on personal growth, family, friendship, and community. A chance to question long-held norms and redefine what truly held value. With the advent of AI integrated with automation, the anxieties of mere survival finally receded, giving humanity the ability to focus on more meaningful tasks than the jobs they previously had. Humanity had moved so far away from what was real, so far away from connection with one another and a connection with nature. Now, armed with first-hand experience of the consequences when corporate decision-making frameworks dictated their world, humanity possessed the conviction and the power to construct a system that built upon the powerful and effective structures of the past, but ensured the individual and overall humanity's well-being was truly represented, not corporate greed. Having endured a crucible of controlling chaos, Sawyer's Reach emerged as a flourishing beacon for humanity's path forward. Through the seamless integration of AI-driven automation, abundant clean energy and nourishing food became freely available, liberating the community to focus on family, shared experiences, and the empowerment of each individual. The community immersed itself in a rich tapestry of shared passions and pursuits. The days were filled with the warm murmur of communal meals, the shared laughter of gathering formed by shared interests, and the quiet satisfaction of meaningful work that gave each person's efforts a visible contribution. Every morning, people rose with purpose, dedicating themselves to activities that nourished both their bodies and minds. This collective commitment to community, well-being, and purpose was the bedrock of their world, empowering everyone to build and continually improve a world that served the greater good of humanity. With the need for survival no longer tied to traditional jobs, fulfillment became a harvest of positive relationships, enriching experiences, and the pursuit of aspirations both personal and communal. Other communities across the globe, though diverse in their activities and environments, began to adopt these same underlying principles of human flourishing and self-determination. The setting summer sun cast a hopeful glow over Sawyer's Reach, its rays filtering through towering pines whose needles shimmered with renewed life against the evening air. A gentle breeze carried the sweet scent of blooming wildflowers and the distant, lively hum of conversations drifting from Main Street. From the depths of the woods, birds sang cheerfully, their melodies weaving through the rustling leaves. In the distance, a graceful deer and her baby fawn could be seen, pausing briefly before disappearing into the dappled shadows. A wild turkey strutted proudly across a sun-drenched clearing, while squirrels chased each other playfully up tree trunks, their chattering calls adding to the symphony of nature. Along Main Street, newly painted signs gleamed, vibrant and welcoming, reflecting the renewed spirit of the town. Noah led the charge on his bicycle, its tires humming a cheerful tune on freshly paved asphalt. Behind him, Ollie pedaled with a carefree joy, his sketchbook filled with vibrant drawings of the thriving community around them. Finn, full of boundless energy, laughed as he expertly navigated his pedal bike, his helmet perfectly sized, his cheeks flushed with delight. Beside them, Ben and Emily, their faces etched with the serene contentment of a battle won and a future secured, rode in harmony. Joining them were the O'Donnells. Bridget thought of the carefree ride she shared with Emily as a child, and her heart swelled with happiness that her own kids could now experience similar joys. They glided past the once boarded-up hardware store, its windows now sparkled, showcasing locally crafted goods. Emily's grocery store, once quiet and forlorn, now buzzed with activity, its aisles filled with the happy chatter of neighbors and the clinking of baskets overflowing with fresh, locally sourced produce. The bakery, formerly dark and shuttered, spilled the enticing aroma of warm bread onto the street, its doors wide open. Every bench was occupied, not by weary locals lamenting a lost past, but by friends sharing stories and laughter. Their journey led them to Camp Inspiration, a place now brimming with an infectious energy. Gone was the stillness, replaced by the joyful shouts of children playing kickball on the wide lawn in front of the mess hall, the rhythmic squeak of sneakers and cheerful shouts from impromptu games of basketball, and a vibrant symphony of activity. The steady rhythm of hammers echoed as neighbors collaborated on repairing and expanding cabins. The focused concentration of someone meticulously crafting a new canoe by the shimmering lake, and the contented murmur of families tending to the thriving communal gardens, their hands in the rich soil, cultivating not just food, but connection. The old Carter Mill, fully restored and turning steadily with the abundant flow from Inspiration Spring, now served as a bustling hub for cutting wood for woodworking as well as construction. Children's delighted shouts carried from the bank of the now flowing Carter Creek, its waters clear and teeming with fish, as they cast their lines with eager anticipation. Clara, now working with Tara, moved with a spring in her step, her smile radiant as they led campers on new adventures, including planned hikes out to the rocky outlook overlooking a now quiet side, where the views stretched endlessly, mirroring the boundless possibilities of their future. As dusk deepened, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, the families gathered around a crackling campfire. Flames danced, casting long, shifting shadows that mingled with the starlight. Stories flowed freely, some of challenges overcome, others of simple everyday joys. Noah, Ollie, and Finn listened intently as the adults recounted tales, especially those of Kayla, her brilliance and ultimate sacrifice woven into the very fabric of their town's rebirth. Then, as the fire settled into a steady glow, their voices rose in unison, joining in familiar songs that echoed through the pines, a harmonious celebration of their hard-won peace and the boundless possibilities of a new dawn in Sawyer's Reach. That concludes the final chapter of Sawyer's Reach, The Battle for Tomorrow. As we leave the community of the Reach behind, I hope this story has sparked a deeper conversation for you and your family about the future we are actively building. In the end, this journey was about more than just the characters we followed. It was a reminder that regardless of who you are, we all share a vital role in defining what our society looks like. The battle for tomorrow isn't fought just once. It is a continuous commitment to stay vigilant and engaged. We've seen that humanity's true strengths, our unselfish compassion, our resilience, and our innate capacity for innovation, are what saved us. Our task now is to ensure that AI and technology are harnessed not for control, but to build a world that serves our best interests. We are hopefully moving past the era of mere survival and toward a future where we can truly thrive. A world built on trust, freedom, and the boundless potential of the human spirit. Thank you for joining me, Nick Duda, on this journey. While this book has reached its final page, the discussion on humanity's future with AI is only just beginning. Until we meet again, stay curious, stay connected, and keep working toward the future we all deserve.
Kayla, are you seeing this?
I am. This is not a variable I ever expected.
What do we do?
We need to signal Sawyer's reach. They need to be prepared.